Today's news. Today's news.
Firefighters targeted. It was an ambush, and it was intentional. Senate budget debate.
This is a good deal for the American family.
This is a fraud. Jury gets Sean Combs' case.
We're looking at charges that include racketeering, sex trafficking.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan. With the CBS World News Roundup, 2 firefighters were killed in an ambush in northwest Idaho. CBS's Omar Villafranca reports they were called to fight a fire the gunman set.
Brush fire going northeast.
It started as a routine call for Coeur d'Alene, Idaho firefighters.
There's an active shooter zone. Everybody shot up here.
And quickly turned into an ambush.
Another Coeur d'Alene firefighter down. We need law enforcement immediately.
With firefighters taking sniper fire. Some were shot, while others tried to find cover from the gunman.
This fire was set intentionally to draw us in.
More than 300 law enforcement officials rushed to the scene on Canfield Mountain. Police exchanged gunfire with the suspect. Teams used cell phone data to hone in on a specific area, where they say they found the body of the suspected shooter with a weapon nearby.
Since the fire was approaching, we needed to scoop up that body, and it's compromised, but we had to do what we had to do to preserve the body.
The sheriff did not release his name nor the weapon used. He believes there was only one shooter involved.
We do believe that the suspect started the fire, and it was intentional. This was a total ambush. These firefighters did not have a chance.
2 firefighters were killed, and officials say 1 was injured.
Now to Washington, D.C. and the weekend work in the U.S. Senate on President Trump's massive spending and tax cut plan. The Congressional Budget Office says the Senate version would add more than $3 trillion to the national debt. CBS News correspondent Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill.
We are in a moral moment.
Debate stretched into the early morning hours
My Democrat colleagues have engaged in the politics of fear.
as the Senate considered President Trump's one big, beautiful bill.
President Trump, this is your plan. It is in our bill. Well done.
Spoiler alert, it is still big, it is still ugly, and it is an absolute betrayal of the people who sent us here to fight for them.
Democrats tried to delay the 940-page megabill by demanding it be read on the floor in full, taking nearly 16 hours.
This act may be cited as the one big, beautiful bill.
Late Saturday night, North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis was one of 2 Republicans who opposed moving forward with the package, concerned about potential cuts to Medicaid.
What do I tell 663,000 people in 2 years or 3 years when President Trump breaks his promise by pushing them off of Medicaid?
On Sunday, the 2-term senator announced he would not seek re-election next year after President Trump threatened to back a potential primary challenge against him, calling his retirement great news. Tillis said he had no hard feelings, but blasted the GOP's approach.
If you've got a surprise or jam your conference to get something done, you're a pretty legislator, and that's just not my style.
With his agenda on the line, the president golfed with a handful of senators pressing for passage of his signature legislation, which contains funding boosts for border security, defense, and a tax cut extension, including proposals he campaigned on, like no taxes on tips and overtime.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says trade talks with the U.S. have resumed after Canada rescinded its plan to tax American technology firms. On Friday, President Trump said he was suspending trade talks with Canada over the tax. Well, the head of the UN's nuclear agency says Iran could resume uranium enrichment within months in the wake of the U.S. attacks on nuclear sites. CBS's Imtiaz Tayeb.
At the Grand Bazaar, few Iranians are paying much attention to reports of how quickly their leadership can or cannot restart enriching uranium. To Syed Rahim Batai, CBS News' producer in Tehran. For 16 years, he's been our eyes and ears on the ground.
Do you think this will lead to Iran thinking it maybe does need a nuclear weapons program?
Well, I think when a foreign country attacks another country, then you are pushing that country towards whatever they can to defend themselves.
And of the Iranians that we've been speaking to, they tell us all they want is peace.
It's coming up on 5 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. It's 54 degrees in Vallejo, California. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well,